Welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It's Challenge the Scorpion. James Otero is back with his Sisters of Battle, and it is a grudge match. He will be fighting against the Necrons. We're fighting across this terrain here. It's quite a picturesque scene, but a barricade line has been drawn up by the Sisters of Battle. It is death or glory scenario, so the Necrons will be on the attack, and the Sisters of Battle will try and hold the line here. If they hold the line and keep these objectives, then they will win the game. It's a straightforward death or glory charge by the Necrons. Can the Sisters of Battle withstand the Necron surge? We'll have to see. Right, so welcome to this 1850 point Challenger Scorpion game. Necrons against Sisters of Battle. It is a grudge match here. James Otero is back from Siege Studios with his Sisters of Battle army. He's lining them up at the moment. Just going to run through the Necron list here. It is set for a revamp, but we're going to use the current list at the moment. One Ghost Ark with 10 Necron Warriors as a troops choice. It's a bound army here. One Doom Scythe, one Night Scythe here, and that is carrying 5 Lich Guard there. Another unit of Necron Warriors as well, by the way, second troops choice. And with the Lich Guard is the Necron Overlord. He has War Scythe, Phylactery, and then Gauntlet of the Conflagrator as well. And then a phase shifter for him as well, so 5+ invulnerable save. And then a Cryptek as well with the Solar Staff artifact of the Eons. 6 Tomb Blades with Shield Vanes and Nebula Scopes. They've got particle beamers, so they'll be firing the blast weapons, ignores cover. And Strength 6. And then 3+ save for them as well. Monolith is in the force here as well. 2 Tomb Spiders, 1 unit of Scarabs, and then running the Canoptic Harvest formation here, 1 Tomb Spider, unit of 3 Scarabs, and then 6 Necron Wraiths. That's the 1850 points list here for the Necrons. They fought many a battle here on the channel already, and they're refighting an old foe here in the form of Sisters of Battle. Right, so James is down again from Siege Studios, and he's brought his Sisters of Battle along, looking very nice. He's going to run through the list that he has here.
My 1850 Sisters of Battle dual combined arms detachment force. You've got first squad here is Dominion squad with quad melter guns, Simulacrum Imperialis, combi melter on the sergeant. Next to it you've got one of the 4 troop choices. You've got a 5 sister squad, 2 melter guns, combi melter on the sergeant. Next is another troop unit, heavy flamer, all bolters. There isn't a storm bolter, it's just on the model. Same again, exactly the same flamer, 4 bolt guns, and then you've got the HQ of the army, which you've got St. Celestine, Canoness that's just got a chainsword and bolt pistol. The model's a bit different, and then 2 priests with combi melters. One of the priests has got litanies of faith. You've then got another of the 4, the final of the 4 troops units, 2 melter guns, combi melter, 2 normal bolter sisters. The other fast attack Dominion squad with a Simulacrum Imperialis. Each troop unit has a repressor transport, including the Dominions as well. 2 of the sister squads are just on foot, these 2 here. At the back, we've got 4 exorcists that are opened up by the dual combined arms detachments. You've got 4 of them across the back, and then the final thing is a Avenger Strike Fighter. It doesn't have the auto cannons, it just has the Avenger Bolter and the las cannons, and that is my 1850 list.
Right, so the scenario, we've played it before with Steel Legion versus Orcs, and that is, we played a couple of games on the Plus channel as well, but it is Death or Glory, the name of the scenario. So it's a customised scenario that we've been using on both channels. So 12-inch deployment in for the Sisters of Battle. They've got a line of barricades here. It's going to give them a 5+ cover save, and then an objective here at the end on the left flank, an objective here at the right, and then just a slight variation on this game. The final objective is at the back here in the form of this statue here. Each objective is worth 3 points, and whoever holds the most objectives at the end will win the game. It's a straightforward game, this one. Usual points available for Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Line Breaker. And then for the Necrons, they'll be attacking. They have to attack. They'll attack in this direction. They'll all come on turn 1, and then any reserves are rolled up as normal. And they don't start on the table. They'll come on from the table edge, and Necrons automatically go first on the first turn. So that's the scenario. It'll be a test for the Sisters of Battle. Can they hold a battle line against a Necron attack? We'll have to see. If they hold their objectives, they will surely win the game. But Necrons, as we know, are pretty good on the assault. So it's a good one here. So it's a grudge match and a new and interesting scenario at the same time. It'll be fascinating to see what unfolds. So we'll go on to deployment now. There's nothing to deploy for the Necrons. So Sisters of Battle, we'll ask them to deploy up to 12 inches in. And then we'll see what deployment they have. Right, so deployment here, interesting. The barricades have not been manned, or womaned, as it would be in this case. Celestine, the Living Saint, just here. And just in front of her, unit of Battle Sisters, just in front. So interesting tactic here from James. We'll see what happens. The 4 Exorcists are starting on the table, so they are deployed here, ready to lay down some long-range firepower. It's a long distance for the Necrons to travel. And then Battle Sister unit here with a Canoness just tucked at the back. The rest is going to go into ongoing reserves. James will have to roll up for his. They won't come on automatically on turn 1. So Necrons will have a slight edge there. That is it. No Necrons on the table. So deployment is done. We will go onto the first turn of the game, which will go to the Necrons. Right, so it's not night fighting here, so James is happy about that. We failed on our roll, so it's broad daylight, and our Warlord trait for the Necrons is Eternal Madness, so the Warlord has Zealot. It's fanatic here as he goes into this grudge match against the Sisters of Battle. So go on to first turn now for the Necrons, coming up as they prepare to surge onto the table. So movement for the Necrons here on turn 1. Tomb Blades moving on 12 inches. And then breeding 2 Scarabs coming on with the Spiders here. And then the Necron Warriors moving on 6 inches as well. And then a gap in the middle. And then at this end of the table, the Necron Wraiths jumping up 12 inches, nice and quick from them. The Ghost Ark is on with the Necron Warriors inside. Then at the back here, breeding another base of Scarabs with this formation. We've granted reanimation protocols to the whole lot. The Spider moving up here and the Scarabs just tucked at the back should be out of line of sight. So it's a two-pronged attack here from the Necrons. Just to summarise reserves, the Doom Scythe is coming on from reserve flying on, and then the Night Scythe is coming on with the Death Star unit. The Necron Overlord and Cryptek have joined the Lich Guard inside there. And these 10 are inside the transport, and then the Monolith will be deep striking later on as well. So no Psychic Phase. Do you have Psychers in your army? No, so there'll be no Psychic Phase in this game. So we're going to go straight on to shooting next for the Necrons coming up on turn 1. Probably a lot of run moves to do. Okay, shooting phase for the Necrons, no shooting done, just running 5 inches with the Wraiths, 6 inches going flat out there with the Ghost Ark, Spider moving up, Scarabs just slinking back here, and they're moving up here 4 or 5 inches there with the Tomb Blades, Necron Warriors moving up 6, and then the Scarabs and Spiders moving up here as well. That's the first turn done for the Necrons, just beginning their attack. We'll hand over to the Sisters of Battle next. So movement phase, Celestine the Living Saint moving out a few inches and then backing off here with this squad here, just using the cover, and then really holding ground with the rest of the force just there ready to shoot off in this direction here. So we're going to shooting phase next for the Sisters of Battle on turn 1. Right, so shooting phase here, Exorcist Fire coming through, 1 Tomb Blade destroyed, passing a cover save. No, it was a reanimation protocols with the other. And that is the only damage done. It passed about 6 invulnerable saves with the Wraiths there, so absorbing damage, and they've done pretty well. So that is the first turn finished. Not much damage on the Necrons, and they're beginning to close ground, but James does have his reserves to come on his turn 2. I'm going to go on to Necron turn 2, their movement phase coming up next as they continue this mechanical advance. So turn 2 for the Necrons here. Scarabs breeding 2 more bases and moving up 12, but another wound taken on the Spider here on the far right. That's moved up. They've moved up 4 inches, just reaching the river. Necron Warriors stumbling, rolling just a 1 for their move through cover. Then the Tomb Blades jumping here to here, being blocked by the Monolith that's now turned up, sort of landing in the middle. And then the Doom Scythe turning up, going on 18 inches in this direction here. Might try and go for an early kill here, perhaps on Celestine. She's just in the woods there. Might be able to get a hit there, we'll see. And then round here, the Wraiths going 12 inches. Look how close they are now, moving in here. I doubt they're going to get a charge off this turn, but they've moved up nice and quickly. And then the Ghost Arks moved 6 and pivoted, ready to fire a broadside. and then bred one more Scarab base, no wound taken with this spider, and has moved up with the Scarabs here. The Canoptic Harvest formation here has given reanimation protocols to all 3 of these units. Yeah, and just to mention here for James's Sisters of Battle, Repressor here, outflanking, and this one also, just to remember, they'll be coming on by outflank. Normal reserves for these 2, and then flying on for reserve with the flyer as well, just to bear that in mind. Necrons are wary of possible flankers turning up, but there's nothing we can do to stop them. So movement's done for the Necrons. I'm going to go on to the shooting phase for them now, see if we can do any damage and continue on this advance with some run moves as well. Okay, so Necron shooting phase here on turn 2. Running here with the Necron Warriors, an inch again, frustratingly, so very slow from them through the woods. Must have got tangled up in some brambles perhaps, unable to move very quickly. Tomb Blades out of a target now as the Monolith, fire from the Doom side firing down, has taken out Celestine, the Living Saint. She will probably come back again. It doesn't count as first blood yet. She may well come back. Just holding here with the Scarabs, moving 2 inches more with the Spiders, just to keep them moving along. It's pretty good advancing from them. Out of range here with our units, the James's Battle Sister unit at the back there, couldn't reach them. And then around here, just running with the Spiders, 6 inches run with that. And then the Scarabs, they move through as well, into the bushes 4 inches, and just holding here. Then let off a volley here with the Ghost Arc and Necron Warriors inside, they fired through and caused 2 hull points here on this Exorcist. James failing his 5+ cover save, so almost destroyed it, almost first blood, but not enough. And then we don't think we're in range to charge, so we ran with the Wraiths 5 inches. They've reached the barricade, but it's unmanned or unwomaned at the moment. They've reached an empty barricade at this stage. We can expect some more Sisters of Battle to turn up this turn. They'll need to. The Exorcist tanks here will need help. The Necrons are closing in, and at the moment they're untouched. We'll go on to the second turn now for the Sisters of Battle. Crucially, what reserves will arrive, we'll have to see. So we'll go on to the second turn for them now. Right, so movement for the Sisters of Battle here on turn 2. The Avenger Strike Fighter has turned up, coming 18 inches on in this direction, lends some fire support. Celestine has jumped up and over, 12 inches passing dangerous terrain. She's heading off in this direction to make a hero of herself, or heroine of herself. Then Repressor coming on here from reserve, driving on. Second one coming on here, disembarking with its crew. Cannoness has gone separate from the unit. Okay, so this is a battle sister unit here, has moved out from behind the statue. Cannoness has gone separate. Exorcist sort of grouping together here, holding ground. This one holding ground. And then flanking with this repressor here has turned up with weapons ready to fire. And flamers ready to fire into the Ghost Ark there. So that's movement done. So everything is on apart from one more outflanking repressor still has to turn up, but a good portion of the Sisters of Battle army has arrived here, crucially, on turn 2. So we'll go on to the shooting phase now. We'll see how effective James's shooting can be. Right, so shooting phase here for the Sisters of Battle. On turn 2, James is saying it's about the worst shooting phase he's ever had. The Avenger Strike Fighter firing through here. We did jink and no damage done on the Doom Scythe here. Then Celestine hasn't fired a flamer, looking to charge against the Tomb Blades there. Then shooting here, coming across with the Melters. James firing across just one hull point there, glancing hit on the Ghost Ark. And a wound also on a Scarab base, the Flamer coming through, and a Necron warrior inside killed as well from the Flamer attack. Then Exorcist fire from all 4, causing no damage. The Wraiths passing all of their invuln saves and reanimation protocol rolls as well. But 2 wounds being done. That's shots coming in from the repressors here, and the squad firing down here as well, but all 6 Wraiths still alive, 2 of them wounded. But that marks the end of shooting here on turn 2. The Sisters of Battle, they do have some charges. The Cannoness and her squad. James may want to charge those in, we'll see. And of course, Celestine, the Living Saint, looking for fame and glory here against the Tomb Blade. So I'll roll these up, get these combats resolved. Right, so assault phase here. Celestine's failed to reach into combat, needing an 8 there with the terrain, rolling a 5. So she's not made it into combat there. It's frustrating for the Sisters of Battle. But here, 2 separate squads. James wanted to have 2 attempts at making sure he got into contact. The Battle Sister unit has got into combat against the Wraiths. We've done a pilot move. Not all of the Wraith models will get to fight, just 4 of them out of 6. We'll get these combats resolved. We'll see how well the units can do. I see what James is trying to do here. He's trying to tie up the Wraiths, keep them away, having a free reign at charging the Exorcist here. So it's a good move. We'll see if those Sisters of Battle can survive. So 11 attacks coming in. Weapon skill 4.
So okay, hitting you on 4s.
4s, yeah.
Rerolling 1s because of the.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just rerolling 1s. More hits coming through. And then, was it regular strength 3?
Yeah.
6s to wound. None. Okay. Any other attacks?
No, that's it.
Alright, okay. But he's just trying to tie up that squad. May well work here. 4 Necron Wraiths will respond. Right, 12 attacks with the Wraiths, needing 4s. So just over halfway. And then 2s for wounds. There's a Rend, which James can make an invuln save for, needing a 6. Okay, 1's Battle Sister brought down. And then 5 other saves. Regular of 3+. So if he wants to just pass a few of these, and he might be able to tie the Wraiths up. 4 ones. That's a wipeout there. I think it is a 5-woman squad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just seeing if you could re-roll 1s on armor saves for active faith, or all that he has, but it doesn't. So that's a wipeout. What a freak result there. Wraiths have overrun that Battle Sister squad and are free to move off. They'll just consolidate, and then they're free to move and possibly assault the Sisters of Battle vehicles. Frustrating there result for Sisters of Battle. James lets out a sigh. Perhaps disbelief mingled with frustration this time. We'll see. We're going to go on to Necron turn 3 now, as they continue to close in on this battle line. Remember, the game hinges around these 3 objectives. Necrons are on one statue being held, and the other one is not being claimed at the moment by either side. So turn 3 coming up for the Necrons. Right, so movement phase here for the Necrons has been a lot. The Doom Scythe's gone off table as it was forced to jink, just trying to keep that one alive. Night Scythe has turned up, and then disembarking 6 inches into the woods there, just rolling up for that distance. The Overlord and his Death Stone have deployed there, ready to use Gauntlet of the Conflagrator against Celestine, try and kill her for the second time. Just easing off here with the Tomb Blades, they're backing off slightly. The Spider bred again, or bred 2 bases. We took another wound, so one spider has been killed itself just by breeding too much, and the other one's moved off 6 inches. Scarabs have moved off very quickly in this direction to take on the Battle Sister squad, just on the back of the hillside there. Monolith edging forwards, but also transported, or Eternity Gate move with the Necron warriors. They've disembarked just here. And then in response to the flank attack here, the Tomb Spiders turned around ready to assault, and then the Ghost Stark's going to remain stationary so it can fire out of both sides, and then the unit inside can fire as well. Breeding another base of Scarabs and moving off in this direction ready to assault this tank line, and then jumping up and over the barricade, the Wraiths close in as well for the assault. That is the movement phase done. There's a lot from the Necrons here. They're reacting, seizing the opportunity really from that round there from the Sisters of Battle. See if they can exploit this opportunity coming up. We'll go on to shooting phase for the Necrons coming up next. So at Night Side firing here at the Avengers Strike Fighter, James will jink. They're on freeze to hit. There's a 6. And then re-rolling. So we've got a total of 5 hits there. Armour is actually 12. And we just get 1 glancing hit only, and it's a 4+ to block that one. It doesn't. Okay, 1 hull point there, but it's not been brought down. Gauntlet of the Conflagrator here coming through. So hit there, 2s for a wound. Yes, 4+ invulnerable save. Just about. Yes, she's passed. She's alive. Yeah, just fired the Solar Staff there. No damage done. 2 wounds, but James passing his 2+ saves there. Then the Tomb Blades firing through, 3 wounds dealt out. James importantly passed those saves, and he did. So Celestine still lives. Necrons have been unable to destroy her for the second time. Then we saw the shooting done at the flyer there. James jinking and surviving there. 1 hull point taken. Just ran 3 inches there with the Tomb Spider moving along the river. Then over here, shooting with this Ghost Stark broadside. Here from the Gauze Flare Array, couple of hull points, then we finished it off with the guys inside, and then firing across here have destroyed this Exorcist as well. So good shooting there from the stationary Ghost Stark. James disembarking just to here within 3 inches of the hull. And that is shooting done. You can see assaults lined up now as the Necrons close in. It's gone well for them at the moment. We can't call the game yet. But they do have the upper hand. Strategically, they're well positioned. James had a good attack plan with his flankers and shooting, but just Necrons rolling up some good saves. They're keeping themselves alive, and they have made it past the barricade here. It looks a bit ominous in this situation here for the vehicles at least. Celestine in the thick of it over here as well. Damage being taken across the table. The flank attack seems to have been broken up just round here on this flank as well. Might be able to get a charge in with the Tomb Spider, and Sisters of Battle vehicles starting to burn. But we'll see. We'll go on to assaults now. We'll see if they can resist the Necron assaults coming up now. Right, so charges here going ahead. None down here. We can't charge Celestine Living Saint. But coming around this side, we failed to charge with the Tomb Spider. Just didn't roll far enough. James did no damage with Overwatch. The Scarabs have charged this End Exorcist, and then the other 2 have been charged by the Wraiths moving, and we've done their piling moves for them as well. And then here, the Battle Sister unit has been charged by the Scarabs. They made into contact, taking 2 wounds there. That was fire from the Heavy Flamer, causing 1 wound, and then doubled for swarms. But we'll get these combats resolved. Multiple attacks now across the table going on from the Necrons. A chance for them to dent this Sisters of Battle armor. We'll see what we get. Right, so combats for the Necrons here. It's gone okay. Battle Sister squad wiped out by the Scarabs. 40 attacks there on the charge. 15 saves James had to make, so they were overwhelmed. and then just consolidating 4 inches just into the woodland there. Then coming across, Wraiths didn't do too well. They with their charge, 2 hull points here, 1 hull point here, but failing to destroy either of those Exorcists. But then the Scarabs had success against the Exorcist here at the end and destroyed that tank. So pretty good round there from the Necrons in Assault. Number of Sisters of Battle vehicles going up in smoke. But we'll see what James can do. On his turn 3 coming up, there's still a chance to wrestle this game back. He's got another outflanker to arrive, and remember he's got some decent squads still inside these transports, and 2 of the Exorcists still alive here, and this squad untouched as well. So we'll keep going. We'll go on to the 3rd turn now for the Sisters of Battle. Right, so movement here for the Sisters of Battle on turn 3. The Avenger Strike Fighter just moving 18 inches, slowing up. Still going to try and let some shots off here, needing snap fire hits. And the Dominion Squad moving around in this direction here to take on the Tomb Spider. Canoness moving down in this direction, looks like she's going to take on the Scarab Swarms. Then this Battle Sister Squad has disembarked from here. And the unit's still inside that one. Looks like they're going to try and take on the Wraiths here. Backing off just an inch of the 2 Exorcists to let off perhaps a final round of shooting to try and get rid of these Wraiths here. Yes, Celestine as well has jumped from here and backed off this direction. Looks like she's ready to take on the Necron warriors just there. So that is movement done. And the outflanking Dominion Squad and the Repressor, they haven't turned up this turn. James ordered 2 for reserves there. So that's movement done. Going to go on to shooting phase now for the Sisters of Battle on turn 3. Right, so shooting here, Avenger Strike Fighter firing down snapshots, but managed to take out 2 of the Tomb Blades there, so that's good shooting. Passing morale test of them, but 2 of their number knocked down there, so that was good snap shooting from the Avenger Strike Fighter. Then Flamer from Celestine, the Living Saint, taking out 3 of the Necron warriors. They passed morale as well, but damage being done to them. Then Melter Gun fire coming through, and 2 wounds on the Necron Tomb Spider, but it's still alive. It was 3 wounds, but we passed the reanimation protocol for the formation. No damage done on the Tomb or the Necron Scarabs there, and no damage at all on the Necron Wraiths. They were hit a lot of times by a lot of heavy firepower, but passing their invuln saves every time. That was fire coming in from this squad, melters from this squad, heavy flamers coming through, and then the 2 Exorcists firing also, but just no damage being done. So very frustrating, those Wraiths, very difficult to get rid of them. They've been a real thorn in the side of the Sisters of Battle army here so far in the game. I'm going to go on to assault phase next for the Sisters of Battle. A few assaults to do. Roll up some charge ranges and Overwatch next. So assaults here, multiple assaults. This unit has gone in. They got crack grenades. They have, yeah, and melter bombs as well. So they should be all right there against the Tomb Spider there. So it's a good move. Try and take that one out. That'll just destroy the formation at least, and we'll lose that ability. Being conferred onto the 2 units here. Canoness has charged into combat against the Scarabs, and then the Battle Sister unit here has charged into combat against the Necron Wraiths. So plenty of combats going on. Celestine is to move in as well. She's made it in, no damage from Overwatch. So we'll get these combats resolved now. We'll see how well the Sisters of Battle can do as they try and counter-attack the Necron threat here. Right, so combat results here. Celestine slaughtered the Necron warriors. They ran, she chased them down and destroyed them. So it was a 1 combat. She's withdrawn 5 inches here from consolidation move. The squad that charged the Wraiths, they were wiped out. No, 2 were killed. 3 were killed. And then busted morale and were hunted down, destroyed by the Wraiths. They've consolidated 5 inches there. And then 1 base of Scarabs killed, no damage done by the Scarabs in return against the Canoness. She's tying them up, preventing them from moving down the line of vehicles. So good move there. And then 1 melter bomb did do the damage, but we passed the reanimation protocol. It's a drawn melee there after the Tomb Spider failed to hit. So Necron units getting bogged down in combat here, so it's making it difficult for them to exploit their advantage. James putting units in bravely to slow the Necrons down, and it is working pretty good. So the game's still on here. Going to go on to the 4th turn for the Necrons. As we pass the halfway stage of the game, we'll see what they can do as they fight on here against the Sisters of Battle. You can really sense the grudge match going on here between these two forces, both fighting as hard as they can. And remember, the game will revolve around the three objectives, one at the end, one the statue just there, and then one at the end here at the moment. Both sides really focusing on attacking and destroying each other, and then moving on to objectives later on in the game. So we're going to go into the fourth turn now for the Necrons coming up. Right, so movement here for the Necrons, 3 inches up out of the river with the Necron tomb spider, then the Scarab shifting down 12 inches this way just into the woods here, then the command Death Star unit starting to move across the river, heading off towards this objective here. Then the 2 flyers turning with the Night Scythe heading off this way, and then coming on with the Doom Scythe again, going to try a run against Celestine the Living Saint. Then the Tomb Blade shifting just over here, just waiting for a target later on. Monolith shifting over a few inches, heading off this way to use its particle whip weaponry. And then over here the Ghost Ark has gone 6 inches, ready to let off some shooting in this direction. The Wraith's backing off, just going to let the particle whip do its shooting before moving in. And then melee continues just down here with the Scarabs and the Cannon S. So we're going shooting now for the Necrons. Good chance to try and bring down Celestine. We'll see what happens. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Necrons here on turn 4. So we've just missed there with the Death Ray scattering about 6 inches away, so Celestine has escaped that one. Try and hit her now with Twin Link Tesla Destructor shots. Bonus 2 hits there, so that's 6. 2's to wound. She's got 5 saves of 2+ to make. I think James wants to roll these one at a time. He's been getting a lot of 1s this evening, and he just has got another one. Instant death. Celestine is down and out. She won't come back a 3rd time, so that's her gone. So shooting finished here. The command squad moving up some more inches towards the objective there. The Tomb Spider will run that one as well, 4 inches. So 4 inches just tucking the spider in there. Scarabs happy to stay where they are. Tomb Blade staying where they are. Then shooting here, Celestine the Living Saint is gone, failing that save. We saw that earlier. Then the Night Scythe firing down here. Side angle at this one. Gave James a 4+ cover save, but the shots went through. 4 penetrating hits, and that Exorcist is no more. Monolith fired particle whip down here, no damage done on either of these two, but the front repressor was finally destroyed by fire from the Necron Warriors inside, and also the Gauls Flayer array firing across there and reducing the hull points down on that repressor there. So there's just 2 vehicles left here. Still a unit of Battle Sisters inside that one. We're going to go on to assaults now. The ongoing melee here. The Wraiths look set to charge, and that is it. So we'll roll up these charges here. Right, so Wraiths have made it into combat there. It's 5 inches needed, they're in, and they've made it into contact with both of the vehicles here and here. So there's a chance for them to bring those 2 down and take out the last 2 vehicles there. So we'll go on to the combats now. We'll get some results from the Necrons charging in here. Right, so combat's resolved here. The Dominion squad finally destroying the Tomb Spider. They've been able to consolidate 5 inches, ready to take on the Ghost Ark by the looks of it. So it's freed them up full strength, that squad. Coming down here, the Wraiths destroyed the Exorcist just here. And then just 1 hull point here on this repressor, so it's free to move off, disembark its crew. Then 1 wound dealt out on the Tombs, or the Scarab swarms. No damage done in return, but fearless, that melee will continue. So that is turn 4 finished for the Necrons. Been pretty good again. They're making progress here, causing damage. Celestine, the Living Saint, is no longer living. She's been dealt with here by Necron air cover, and the Necrons do look in a strong position at the moment. We'll see what James can do. He's got another flanking unit to turn up. That unit will turn up and see if he can make an impact on the game. So we're going to go on to Sisters of Battle, turn 4, coming up next. It looks grim, but they'll fight on religiously and desperately against the Necron attack. Right, so movement Sisters of Battle here on turn 4. The Dominion squad has turned up here in the Repressor and disembarked, ready to fire down on the Scarabs. So that's the final reserve unit coming on there for the Sisters of Battle. Turning here 90 degrees and moving off with the Avenger Strike Fighter. Looks like he's going to try and shoot up the Wraiths again. They've been a real difficulty to get rid of those. Then turning here with the Repressor, and then the Sisters of Battle squad just getting out here. This is an objective, so they're crowding around it. Both troops' choices. So the Necron's got a bit of work to do to try and remove those. Plus they've got to survive incoming fire here. Then the Dominion squad here moving across to use their melters against the Ghost Ark. So that's it. They're leaderless now. No, they're not. They do have the Canoness still alive, fighting away, and the Priest here has moved off. I think James is going for Linebreaker, perhaps with him to knock up that extra point. So going to go on to shooting phase now for the Sisters of Battle on turn 4. Right, so shooting here for Sisters of Battle, it's been pretty good. The Dominion squad here, 4 of the Scarab bases destroyed with melter hits, a lot of damage coming through from them. Avenger Strike Fighter doing some damage against the Wraiths, one of those has gone. The Dominion squad here destroying, ignoring cover so we couldn't jink, and destroying the Ghost Ark, and 4 Necron warriors being destroyed as well. 6 of them have got out. They have passed their pinning test, they're there, but that's quite a blow there to the Necrons. That was good shooting there. Lots of melter guns in the Sisters of Battle army, so quite a bane for vehicles. So that's shooting done pretty good this round, but it's an uphill struggle, I think, for the Sisters of Battle at the moment. But we'll see. We're going to assaults for them. We've got an ongoing combat just there. I think they're allowed to assault the passengers that have got out if they wish to. That Dominion squad, and then they've just arrived, so they can't assault, and they disembarked as well. But we're going to assaults now for the Sisters of Battle on turn 4. Right, so assaults here. James just moving in the Dominion squad. They've charged successfully against the Necron warriors. They've survived 3 Overwatch wounds there with their 3+ save, and then we've got the continuing melee there with the Canoness against the Scarabs. So do this combat here. James will go first with his grenades. Yeah, weapon skill 4. So 4s for hits there. Pretty good. And then strength 3, toughness 4, 5s for wounds. Again, pretty good. There's 3 saves there to make, which we fail 2. Reanimation, we pass another, so just 1 Necron warrior brought down. There's 5 of them left. So it brings back memories, these smaller fights that we see towards the end of the game. 5 Necron warriors fighting back. Just the 1 hit, 1 wound. 3+ save, no. So drawn combat there, crucially. So the Necron warriors hold there, quite crucially, after the assault there from the Dominion squad. We've gone to the next combat here. The Canoness. She gets 2 hits. And she gets 2 wounds. And it's chainsaw. No, is it AP6? Yeah, okay, so 2 wounds coming through. That's a base gone on the Scarabs. We do get a save there, just 6s. We do save 1, so the base goes back on, but it takes a wound. 20 attacks with the Scarabs, needing 5s. Pretty poor. Quite terrible. And forced to win 1 save of 3+. No, so wound taken there on the Canoness. Drawn combat, that melee continues. That marks the end of turn 4 for the Sisters of Battle. Now it's a chance for the Necrons. Their turn 5 coming up next. We'll see what they can do. There's choices to be made here. Combat's going on. Necron units getting bogged down. We'll see if they can wriggle themselves free. Push on with the advantage that they have. Right, so movement here for the Necrons on turn 5. Scarabs breeding, and another base here. 5 of them ready to charge the Repressor. And then the Tomb Spider moving up just 2 inches. The Death Star unit moving through the trees there, just heading off towards that objective, or may charge here, we're not sure. Doom Scythe turning and coming over to lend some fire support. Monolith moving forward, has got options to shoot either to the right or to the left. Survived this game pretty good. Continuing melee here. Just hope those Necron warriors hold. And then down here, the Wraiths are going to try and take out the Canoness here, who's tying up the Scarabs. And then the Night Scythe moving over here to fire this Battle Sister squad just there. I haven't got an angle to the flyer, so that's untouched. Not going to be able to do anything to it. Might be able to hit it with Snapfire perhaps from the monolith, we'll see. We're going to shooting phase now for the Necrons on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase here for the Necrons. Firing across here with the Doom Scythe, and then shooting also from the monolith, particle whip, and then also fire from the Tomb Blades, knocking down a number of the Dominion squad there, and then immobilizing and a hull point on the repressor as well. So significant damage coming through, not just wiping them out, but stopping the transport, and then just 3 of the Dominion squad left. Fearless for them, passing morale automatically. Then one round here, one of the Battle Sisters killed. That was fire from the Night Scythe, and that's shooting done. So combat is here. We're going to try and charge the Wraiths into the Cannoness, continuing melee just down here, and then we've got decisions to make whether to charge in with the command squad. We're actually going to run them. I'm not going to charge. I'm going to try and get towards the objective. I'm going to try and charge here with the Scarabs and also the Tomb Spider. So roll up some charges now, and just that one more run move to do as well for the Death Star unit. Right, so charge has gone ahead here. Scarabs have made it in. One base was lost, got hit by a melter and destroyed, and then the Tomb Spider has made it into combat there with the Dominion squad as well. It's a multi-charge here, so 2 units of Scarabs will reach the vehicle, and the rest will go into the Dominion squad. Did the run move there, 5 inches, so we're crowding that objective. Now that's secured, I think, and then melee continues here. The Wraiths have made it in also, so we'll get these combats resolved here for Necron turn 5. Right, Cannoness going to fight the Scarabs here. It's got a hit. And strength 3, toughness 3, so no wound. We'll do the Wraiths here. Right, so Wraiths here, weapon skill 4, her weapon skill is 5, right, so 4's to hit. Not too good for these. And then we're on 2's to wound, 6's are Rens. So there's 2 Rens there. She does get an invuln save. No, she's gone instant death on the roll of a 1 there. So the Cannoness is gone. We'll consolidate those models there. They're free to move. So attacks, we've resolved that, just consolidating there with those 2 units. Then down here, James will go first with his 5 Sisters of Battle there, Dominion squad. There's 5 Necron warriors left. Okay, 6 attacks in total. 4's for hits. That's very good rolling. 5's for wounds. It's just the 1. Okay. So 4+ save, yes. So 5 Necron warriors fighting back. They get, what's your weapon skill? 3. That's 4 hits, 2 wounds, and then 3+ armor save. Pass the first, pass the second. So another combat goes on there to another round. Drawn melee just there. Then we'll do the combat over here. So 2 sisters first are going to fight.
On the 2 crack grenades.
Yeah, okay.
Crack grenade on the spider.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah. Right, so James has got a crack grenade hit with 1 battle sister here, and then a regular hit against the Scarabs. So crack grenade, yeah, 4's for a wound. Yes, he does. 3+ for a save. Yes, we do. Then, yeah, no wound on the Scarabs. Okay. And then the priest.
Melter bomb on the spider.
On the spider, yeah, okay. We'll roll him up now. He gets a hit. And he does get a wound, and no reanimation. We'll still be able to do... We'll still get wipe out, actually, because he's initiative 1. So we'll resolve the Necron attacks first. Scarabs, 5's. So 5's for weapon skill 2. I do need 4's to hit here, actually. Fine. 3 saves to make a 3+.
All made.
All made, well done. Okay. So that's Scarabs done. We'll do the 8 Scarab attacks against the Repressor. 3's for hits. And then 6's will cause glancing and nothing. No damage done there. Then the Tomb Spider will fight with 3 attacks. Weapon skill 3, it's just 2 hits, 2 wounds, 2 invulnerable saves.
Strength are they?
Strength 6.
Okay, so on the priest, 2 4-ups.
Yeah. 6 up saves.
Nothing? No. You roll those because of the hymns?
Yeah.
Nothing, 2 down.
Okay, 2 sisters down, just 1 fanatical priest left. So combat's finished there. So that's that done. That marks the end of the turn. We're going to go on to the 5th turn, possibly the final turn now for the Sisters of Battle. They've got a chance at season objectives here. They're on 1. They could move out and try and clear the Necrons off the other. James does have troops choices here, so the game is not over. Despite the predicament. Remember, he's got Linebreaker down here as well, the sneaky priest. And then possibility of picking up some objective points. The game is not finished. Necron's dominating, but not necessarily winning. We'll see. We'll go on to the 5th turn for Sisters of Battle coming up next. So movement here for the Sisters of Battle on turn 5. Melee continues here. The priest has slunk right into the corner here, just anchoring that line breaker point. Then just readjusting here, it was tank shock manoeuvres straight ahead, and then James's pop smoke with the repressor there. So onto the objective. Objective secures it troops. It is, right, okay. James is set, possibly, for a victory here if the game ends, we reckon. It's holding the objective just here, and then the melee continues against the immobilised repressor and the fanatical priest. So interesting here. Necrons hold 1 at the moment. Sisters of Battle hold 2. Would you believe this desperate end stage of the game? The Sisters of Battle could actually win. We'll go on to their shooting phase next. We'll see what they can do. Yeah, shooting phase hardly anything. Just a couple of snapshots coming up at the flyer from the melters, just here by the statue, and that is it. So on to combats. Pretty well. The combats, I reckon, aren't too important at the moment, but significant manoeuvring there from James at the end. It may well secure him victory if the game ends. So it's edgy here for the Necrons. They could have victory stolen from them. It's happened before. You may see it happen again. Right, the priest is going to do a melter bomb, so we'll do scarab attacks first against the repressor. So we're on 8. Freeze for hits. He's immobilised, was unable to move away. 6s, nothing this time. Then scarabs against the priest here. 4s for hits. And then 4s for wounds, 3 saves of 4+, and James can re-roll a 2. No, he is dead. We can consolidate there. So a small victory there on that flank. So consolidation moves just an inch there for the Tomb Spider, and then the Scarabs will continue on the melee against the immobilised repressor just there. We'll do the combat here, the ongoing fight between Dominion Squad and the Necron Warriors. So just the combat there, 1 Necron Warrior has just been killed there. James has rolled up off camera, and then we'll fight back with 4 Necron Warriors. Weapon skill 4, yeah, and then freeze for wounds, 3 saves here. It's fouled 1. It's fouled 1. Okay, so it's actually a drawn melee, 1 casualty aside. That combat marks the end of the turn. It marks the end of turn 5. So we're going to roll up to see if the game continues here. On a 1 or 2, we will stop, and we reckon it will be a victory. So Sisters of Battle, pressure roll. He could snatch a victory. He rolls a 1. He's rolled 1s all game and has cursed his bad dice rolling. But it is actually a 1 that wins James Otero the game here. What a twist at the end of this game. He cannot believe it. He came here saying that it's been the worst dice rolling ever in a game of 40k, and yet he goes on to win by rolling one of his famous 1s. He can't. He's in shock here. I think we're all in shock. So we're just going to count out victory points here. So for the Sisters of Battle, 3 points. That is a dedicated transport for troops. So that is objective secured. So that objective is denied from the Necrons and gained. That's the objective with the banner just here. And then this objective, the statue, is held. It's not being contended by any Necron units, and the Battle Sister unit just at the back there. So that's 6 points. And then Linebreaker here from the cheeky priest, looking out in this direction. So that is 7 points. And then for the Necrons, 1 objective secured here. Slay the Warlord, Line breaker, yes, and then first blood is 6. So the score is 7-6. How close can you get? An excellent move there from James Otero at the end. If the game had continued, we wonder if he could have pulled it off. So it needed to end on turn 5, and he pulled out one of his beloved ones on his dice and has brought victory here. So shock victory. Victory snatched from the Necrons. Once again, that will infuriate them. Well, maybe not. These emotionless beings will just slink away, reassemble, and come back to fight another day. But Sisters of Battle rejoice. The ladies are happy here, and they have achieved victory with some cunning manoeuvring at the end. So well done to James Otero. He's had victory here and revenge against this Necron force. Yeah. Now we're saying not much left on the table here for Sisters of Battle, but sometimes it's not always numbers that count. Tactically, the Sisters of Battle have won. So great game, nice backdrop for this game. James's army sits nicely on this table, and the Necrons look good as well. They fought each other. It's been a bitter fight, but Necrons have been outwitted by the ladies in black. So good game, but in the end it was objective secure. That rule there for troops choices that brought about victory. So it's a valuable asset to have in a force, that objective secure. But great game. Thanks to James Otero from Siege Studios coming down. It was an enjoyable game. A tight game. One that we thought victory was clear for the Necrons, but was snatched away there at the end by some cunning manoeuvring and tactics. So great game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Units of the game here. James is going to give it to the priest, who did bring about victory. It would have been 6-all, but thanks to the priest, he got that extra line breaker point. And then for the Necrons, the Ghost Ark did very well. Some brilliant broadsides from that, some steady advancing. The Wraiths, for the sheer number of hits that they absorbed, very impressive from them. I think, yes, we'll give it to the Wraiths. They fought bravely, destroyed a whole load of vehicles. They endured right to the end, but they were kicked off, or they were pushed out of the way with the objective there. And but still an excellent unit, so they did very well. But that is unit of the game for both sides.